Hello, welcome to Raymond Castile's Basement of Horror. Today we're going to talk about the Super7 Ultimates action figure of Papa Emeritus the First from the band Ghost. So let's just get this out here. Here's the box. Now this is going to be an interesting episode because I am going to open this toy. I'll explain why. All right. There we go. There's the box. There we go. Ghost. Now, ordinarily on this show, we don't open anything. But this is a special case. So here's the box. I pre-ordered this from Super7 months ago. And I thought the deal was that they were only going to make as many as they needed to fill the pre-orders. And then it would be a limited thing, and that's it. So there was a limited amount of time during which you could order this. And I was one of the people who pre-ordered. And the thing came, I don't know if you can see what's going on here, but it's kind of, the box is not in good shape, the outer shipping box. And the inner box was nicely bashed as well. You can even see inside there. Yeah, it took a beating. And so the toy box, it's got this beautiful, nice box, but look at that. It's bashed. It's knocked up. So, I went on the Super7 website and I complained, but I didn't ask for a refund. I saw that this was for sale on the Big Bad Toy Store. So, now I thought it was only going to be for the people who ordered it as a pre-order and that was it, but Big Bad Toy Store and a few other places are carrying it. So, I bought another one from Big Bad Toy Store because they have a collector grade that you can buy. You pay a few bucks extra, and then they send you collector grade quality with supposed to be perfect, no issues, and the shipping is better. They send it in a bigger box with more padding. So I just ordered another one. So now I have this one with the dents, and for a mitten box collector, that drives me crazy. So I don't like that. So I think I will open this one. Here's the inner box, and you see it's bashed as well. Look at that. Ridiculous. And so this came, so you can't blame some other, third party, whatever. This came from Super7. This came from Super7 and direct from them. And you can see just how there's, well, I don't know, it shouldn't have gotten messed up, but the box is just not big enough. There's no padding. And so if something comes down on it, and this is the United States Postal Service, just what is wrong with them? They've really gotten so shoddy that I don't use them. I use FedEx. Sometimes I use UPS, but I don't use the post office anymore. I just don't get it. I understand that they're being underfunded, but this isn't about funding. This is about conscientiousness and doing your job properly. I mean, if you can't do your job properly, quit. Get another job. But I don't get what's going on with the post office, because this isn't just this problem. I'm sure if you've mailed anything with the post office lately, or in the last couple of years, really, you know, they're just, everything's getting bashed up. Everything's getting wrecked. It's like they jump on it, or, you know, stomp on it or something, throw them against the wall. I don't know what they do, but it's just not acceptable. I mean, the post office is a problem, but Super7 also should have shipped this in a bigger box, because this is for collectors. This is not for 9-year-old kids to play with. This is for collectors, adult collectors, and they're expensive. This is an expensive figure, and they should have, as much care as they put into the creation of this packaging, which is very beautiful packaging, why go to all that trouble to create beautiful packaging and then ship it in a box that's going to destroy it? Just go the extra mile. I don't even consider it the extra mile. I really consider it the minimum they should do, but maybe in their eyes it would be the extra mile. Do what's necessary to protect the box and ship it in a big wide box with padding, styrofoam peanuts, bubble wrap, something, so that it's got room on all sides and it's not rattling around in there. Does that cost money? Yes. Guess what? This costs money. I paid for this. This is not a free gift. This cost a lot of money. So I had to spend money to get this. They should spend money on the shipping, on properly packing their products for shipping. Okay, an unusual way to start a video like this, but I had to explain why I'm going to open a toy, which I never do on this show, almost never. I'm going to open a new toy that's sealed. Okay, so in other words, I'm going to keep this, probably, and get the mint one, hopefully, from Big Bad Toy Store. Okay, so with all that out of the way, there's the crucifix. That's what that's called, the logo from Ghost, the crucifix. And here's the band logo. And you can see it's like foil embossed. Here's a top. And, you know, it's a very, very nice package. I mean, look at the gold lining, and that's all linked to the color scheme of the character's costume. It's not random. And then the inner box, same thing. The black inner box matches the color scheme of the character's costume. And now here is the character. That is Papa Emeritus the First. And if you don't know what Ghost is, you'll be lost. You won't know what in the heck's going on here. That is basically the front man, the singer from Ghost. But it's more complicated than that. I will explain, but there is Papa Emeritus the First. Not Papa Zero, that's different. This is Papa Emeritus the First. And this is, if I'm not forgetting anything, I believe this is my first Ghost toy. There have been other Ghost toys, like this company, Super7, makes 3 3/4 inch Ghost figures, but I haven't liked any of those. They just don't. A lot of this new 3 3/4 inch retro style stuff, some of the card art is nice, like Super7's card art is always beautiful, but the figures just, they don't cut it. If you look at actual 3 3/4 inch figures from the 70s and early 80s, most of them are very well sculpted. The initial line of Kenner Star Wars figures were more rudimentary, but by the time you get to Jedi, and really even Empire, but especially by Jedi, the sculpts are very good. And if you look at like Clash of the Titans and other 3 3/4 inch figures from that era, the Remco monsters, those sculpts are good. So I wish some of these companies, like Super7 and other companies that are making these new retro 3 3/4 inch figures, would just try to make them good instead of trying to be self-consciously crude and simplistic. Those figures back then were not trying to be crude and simplistic. They were trying to be good toys. They were trying to sculpt them well by the standards of the day, given the limitations they had at the time. So I wish particularly Super7, because I collect a lot of the stuff that they're making, the Universal monsters and whatnot. I wish they would, if they're 3 3/4 inch figures, put more care into the sculpts and not try to deliberately make them look basic. But that's why I haven't bought the Ghost 3 3/4 inch figures, because I like the card art, but the figures are just too simplistic. I do buy their Universal monsters, and I like them quite a bit, but even there, the sculpts are a little too simplistic. Okay, but this is an Ultimates figure. Am I saying that correctly? Yeah, Ultimates, it's plural, Ultimates with an exclamation mark. This is an Ultimates figure, so that's not like the 3 3/4 inch. This is more like a 1/12 scale. Like Mezco makes 1/12 figures, and quite a NECA makes 1/12 figures. So that's kind of the thing these days. These 6 or 7 inch tall action figures. I prefer Mego style 8 inch personally. I like this, from what I've seen of it so far. I like this figure. I would have liked it more if it were 8 inch Mego scale. But this scale is kind of the in thing right now. So before maybe I should talk while I'm opening this, because I bet it's not going to be as easy to open as I think. Let's see, it's got a tape seal. I'm trying to peel this tape. I probably should just slice it. See, I'm not very experienced with opening boxes. I'm kind of klutzy about it because I don't do it very often. But anyway, let's tell you about Ghost. So I like this band quite a bit. The name of the band is Ghost. The leader of the band it's a Swedish band, and the leader is a gentleman named Tobias Forge. Now, if you're Swedish, you're going to pronounce that differently, and I'm not going to try to pronounce that the way a native-speaking Swiss citizen would try. Let's see here. But, to the English-speaking world, he's Tobias Forge. So, here we go. Hey, look at that. It came out a little easier than I thought. Oh, interesting. There's a light. Look at these lights in the back. So the package is gorgeous. That's why I'm all the more upset that it's damaged. I mean, the package is beautiful. Look at that artwork in the back with the lighting. Okay, so there's that. Let's put this over here. So anyway, Tobias Forge, he is the leader of Ghost, and it's a Swiss band, and it's more or less a solo act. I mean, he writes the songs, and on the albums he performs most of the instruments, and he doesn't do drums. Well, yeah, I think he does actually, but he sings and plays the guitar. And this is a point of contention. People who know about the band could say a lot about this, but the band members that go out on the road are hired to perform. They're not performing. They're hired to perform live. They're not performing on the albums. And there's a whole messy history behind this that I don't need to get into. But I've been listening to Ghost since their first album, Opus Eponymous. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. I think I did. And I think the first song I heard was either Ritual or the cover of Here Comes the Sun, the Beatles song, Here Comes the Sun. I think they just formed maybe 6 months before I heard them. I saw a video of a live performance on YouTube. And I think it was on the Universal Monster Army. Someone posted this video. And I watched it, and it was so bizarre. This Papa Emeritus, the first character, was standing there singing with this skull makeup and all this satanic visuals, but he was singing almost like the Beach Boys, this very melodic kind of singing, and the music was very melodic. It like there was a clash of the visual and the sound, and that really appealed to me. They're technically heavy. They're technically heavy metal, but they've always called themselves pop from day one. Their own write-up of how they describe themselves, they always called themselves a pop band, and I think of them as a pop band. But officially they're classified as heavy metal, but it's a very pop-oriented heavy metal. It's very melodic and not very heavy, and that's fine. If it was heavy metal, I probably wouldn't listen to it because I don't like death metal, like that. I don't like that. That doesn't interest me. But I like Ghost music. I like their sound. And being so melodic, I keep saying that word, being so melodic and more pop oriented, it actually makes it seem more sinister, more diabolical than if they went for the more stereotypical death metal kind of sound. So as an early fan, I've wanted them to get back to that early sound, because as they went along, they got more and more pop and more soft as they went along, and kind of lost their edge as they became more popular. They've become very, very popular. I never in a million years would have thought basically a satanic band from Sweden would become as huge as they are. I knew that I was living in some kind of alternate universe when one of their songs became the theme for Monday Night Football. I said, wait a sec, this was like a little cult band a couple years ago that I thought me and a couple thousand other people were listening to. and now they're on Monday Night Football. So they became very mainstream. Now they got toys. We've had toys for a while. So I still like them. I mean, it sounds, some people will roll their eyes, but they are probably my favorite contemporary band. As far as bands that formed in the last dozen years or so, they're my favorite contemporary band. Not my favorite band, but my favorite new band that's, performing now and making new music now, that was formed recently. And I like the theatrics quite a bit. I like the visuals. I like the lyrics. I like the sound. And I really like the mythology of these characters. There's this... the idea is that they're the satanic church that is kind of like the Catholic Church, but like a mirror image of the Catholic Church, like a bizarro world version, like this secret devil church. and they're trying to take over the world, but it's like Dr. Evil in Austin Powers. They're kind of bumbling. They're not good at it. So it's like a semi-comical satanic church trying to take over the world. They're trying to take over the world kind of the way Dr. Evil is trying to take over the world. So they're kind of oddly lovable. Or if you watch the movie or the show What We Do in the Shadows, it's about vampires, and they're definitely vampires, and they kill people, but they're lovable, bumbling vampires. So this is like a lovable, bumbling satanic church trying to take over the world, but not being very effective about how they're doing it, and kind of bumbling, stumbling along the way. And there's a big, vast mythology that they've built up over the years, with all these videos, all these different characters, and this storyline. And it's pretty silly, I'm sure, to anyone looking at it from the outside. But if you've been following it from the beginning, it's entertaining. And the front man is named Papa Emeritus, and he's always changing with every album. It's supposed to be a different person. Papa Emeritus, the second, the third, the fourth. And it's always supposed to be a different person, but it's really the same guy playing him, Tobias Forge, with a mask and taking on a different character and different costumes. So it's all played by the same guy, but it's supposed to be different people. And in the early days of the band, their identities were secret. No one knew who they were. And some people thought it really was a different person. Like when one Papa retired and another Papa took his place, a lot of fans thought it was really a different person. Not everyone. Some, I knew it was. I knew it was a mask and it was the same guy, but I liked suspending my disbelief. I liked the fantasy of it. And now that we know who the front man really is, who the leader of the band really is, we know his name, we know his face, it took some of the fun out. I wish they were still anonymous. And how they were outed and how their identities were outed is another story that we won't get into. It's messy, involving a court battle. It's messy, but anyway. So when they came on the scene, this was the original frontman, Papa Emeritus the First. So this is what my first exposure to Ghost was. This character, he was the one singing, Papa Emeritus the First, and then he retired and was replaced by Papa Emeritus the Second. But it's the same guy. He's wearing in this case, it's a rubber mask. Tobias Forge wearing a rubber mask. And then later it became a silicone mask. But it's the same guy, playing a different character every album. Okay, so how do we take this out without destroying it? Let's see here. Like I said, I don't have a lot of experience opening toys. I'm afraid I'm going to mess it up. I'm liable to break it taking it out. I got a head out. Come on out here. Come on. What the heck? Holy cow. I got him out. Holy good grief. Okay. Is he in one piece still? I don't know. So there he is. And you can turn around. Let's see what's back here. Now that looks like fabric, but that's plastic. That's not fabric. It's very detailed, as you would expect. Let's see here. Okay. Apparently you can take his hands off. Yep, his hands come off. And his head comes off. So you look at his robe here. You look inside. Very, very detailed. Look at that lining in there. It's got Velcro pads to hold it in place. It's got little sleeves for his arms to go in. Very fancy. And here's his head. Well, here's his body, I should say. That's what he looks like under the robe. And I didn't know what to expect as far as what was going to be under that robe. I thought it might be just like an armature. I didn't know it would be a sculpted body like this. He has plastic. It's all plastic. There's no fabric in this body. It's underneath the robe. Only the robe is fabric. So there are no soft goods on this part. But it does have like a separate soft vinyl jacket, which is a nice touch. So you can put him back on here, put his head back on. Hopefully. Yeah, there it goes in there. Put his hands back on. I was worried about how easily these would go back on, but they're snapping and they're pretty good. So I don't usually, I don't open the toys. I don't interchange the hands and stuff. I wasn't sure just how much you could pose those arms, because all the photos I've seen show the arms stretched out to the sides, and that's about as much as you can. That's about as close to the sides of his body as you can get. They don't go straight down. They could have sold him just like this, with no robe, and he would look cool. I mean, he looks good just like that. If they put a little paint perhaps in there. I mean, he's probably supposed to be all black on black on black, but I mean, he looks good just like that, really. All right, so now let's take his head off. Take his hands back off. It's a weird feeling taking a toy apart like that. Okay, so now here's the other costume he comes in. And this is how I first saw Papa Emeritus the First. When I first saw this character in those early videos, he was in white. And I always liked that white look. Something about the white robes just looked more evil. Because you expect black, like, Darth Vader or Dracula, you expect the bad guy to wear black. So these robes they're black inside. They have Velcro. And they're more ornate. They have lace, little frills. They're kind of lacy, whereas the black one isn't. Okay, so let's put him in this one. And I know some channels would have like a close-up of me doing this, but we're not that kind of channel. This is highly unusual. And honestly, if the package were not damaged, I would not be doing this. Look at this tiny little stem right there. And that has to snap into that little hole. And it does, but just, you have to be careful because these things are, I can just imagine how delicate this whole thing is if you were rough with it. I feel like I've been a little rough out of necessity, just having to get it in there. Snap the parts off and put it back on. Okay. So here we go. So the robe has wires in it. You can see how it's scrunched up. That's because it has wires to hold that kind of a pose. Like if I just hold him by the head, the robe stays like that. Or you can spread him out. Give him a kind of Scooby-Doo, scary kind of. He's coming to get you. He looks like he's overseeing some kind of a black magic ceremony. There might be a cauldron or something right there he's looking down on. Or maybe he's like hovering over the earth, and the earth is like a little globe right here. He's like, it's like F.W. Murnau's Faust, where the devil is this giant being that just hovers over the countryside, hundreds of feet tall. So my favorite look for him is this white outfit, because that's the first time I saw him, that's how he looked. And I think there were some concerns, because they're Swedish. I think as they started getting popular in the United States, I think they started to get concerned about the connotation of a white robe. That there were some potential racist connotations about a white robe. And I think, I mean, I don't know if this is fan speculation or there's ever been anything from Tobias to back this up, but I think that they started to worry about that connotation, and that might be why they got the black robes. But that could just be just fan BS. I don't know. But when they first started, they had white robes. And then as they started to get more popular in the United States, they switched to black robes. But I always thought the white robes, I mean, their name is Ghost. So a ghost, you know, has a white sheet. And it just seemed more evil with white, because you don't expect it. You don't expect villainous characters to be dressed in white. Expect them to be dressed in black. That's the more cliched color. So I don't know if I want to get all this stuff out. But he comes with a bunch of accessories. There's extra hands that can hold different things. And, you know, I forgot what these are called. I just heard the name today and I already forgot it. But basically he puts incense in these and it starts to smoke, and then he holds it and he waves it like this. And all the ghost fans are yelling the name of this thing right now, but sorry, I forgot. Should I take this? They're taped in there. I mean, I've come this far. Why not? Why shouldn't I take it out? But I don't know. He has a little microphone that he can hold. Oh, look, it's Billy. Thank goodness you're here, Billy. Yeah, I'm dying up here, Billy. This is hard. This is hard work. You want to eat that? You want to eat Papa Emeritus's head? So, you know, you can have him ride on top of the cat. You can do battle with the cat. He can stroke the cat's fur. Whoa, you killed him. He knocked his head off. Oh well. Did it get... No, there's nothing there. Okay. Well, Billy vanquished Papa Emeritus. Okay. I might as well take this out. If I'm going to have a cat destroy it, I might as well peel this tape back. I've come this far. I've opened the box. I've taken him apart. I've had him do battle with my cat. What difference does it make now? Just go all the rest of the way and take this apart. Oh, good grief. This stuff's hard to take out. I'm not sure which, oh, let me show you the different heads. It's just the color scheme that's different. Hold it like this. Here we go. So the gold one is for the white robe, and the silver one is for the black. The head doesn't, I mean, it stays on, but there's Billy again. Let's see, how does he hold this? No, Billy, don't eat Papa Emeritus. Don't eat my toy. There we go. So that's how he holds it. You can see how he holds it there. And so during a concert, there'd be smoke coming out of here. And I do think they actually do burn incense. I think back when I had a sense of smell, I can't smell anything because of medical reasons. Back when I could, I do remember when they would sway this thing around, smoke would come out. There was a scent. It wasn't just, theatrical smoke. They were actually burning incense of some kind. Hi, baby. Hi, Billy. Okay, well, so there's Papa Emeritus, the first. Now, am I going to buy Papa Emeritus the second? I'm sure they're going to make the second, the third, the fourth, Papa Zero, all the different Papas. Except for Papa Zero, they're all... Billy's gone. Except for Papa Zero, they're all played by the same guy, Tobias Forge, the leader of the band. They're all played by him wearing different masks, rubber or silicone masks. And the band keeps up this fantasy that they're actually different people. Every album cycle, there's a new frontman singing, a new Papa, but it's really the same guy. They're all different characters, but it's the same guy in a mask, in a series of different masks and different costumes. And my favorite is Papa Emeritus II. He's the favorite of a lot of fans. He's the most evil, diabolical, scary-looking one. He didn't have very much of a sense of humor. He just looked mean and scary. And that's why I like him. He had a very villainous, scary look. And this first one did too, Papa Emeritus I. So if they do them all, they'll have Papa Zero, or Papa, how do you pronounce it? It was Papa Nil, Papa Nihil, like a nihilist. And Papa Zero are all the same character. They changed his name over time. And he's the only one that was played by a different person. So he's Papa Zero, supposed to be the original Papa. And Papa 1, Papa 2, Papa 3, Cardinal Copia, and Papa 4. So that's a lot of Papas. If they make all those Papas, and I wish they'd make the ghouls, the band members that actually play the guitars and the drums and the keyboards are called ghouls. And at first they had hoods, like Obi-Wan Kenobi or Jawa or the Grim Reaper or something like, hoods with masks. And then they switched to, took the robes off, the hoods off, and then had like devil mask with horns and kind of a fancy dress, kind of a tuxedo style suit. And that's still the style that they're using now. So I'd like them to make some ghouls. They always do the Papas, but they never do the ghouls. I'd like to see some ghouls. And I remember when I first saw some custom figures of Ghost, it was either Papa 1 or 2, and the early ghouls with the hooded robes, and they were all custom. It was at a convention, and I don't know what the seller wanted, but it was a lot of money. I think it wanted, $1,500 or something for the set. I can see it was a lot of work went into it. It looked really good, but it's pretty rich for my blood. And I don't know why it's taken so long. So those were, I think there was a 12-inch custom figures, I think. But why is it taking so long to get fully articulated action figures with soft goods, cloth costumes? The Ghost has been around a while now, and we're only just now getting this toy. Why don't we have Mego style Ghost? Why doesn't NECA make Ghost figures? They make other bands. Why not some Ghost figures in 8 inches with cloth costumes? Mego could do it. They won't, but they could. That'd be an idea. They've done Kiss. They've done Jimi Hendrix and some other music, Elvis Presley, some other music artists. They could do Ghost. But Ghost seems so perfect for toys. It's just, they're very toy friendly. They have all these different characters and all these different costumes and all these different looks, and they're all very fanciful. it's a great dark fantasy. It's not just the music. There's this whole story, this whole fantasy around who they are, and this ongoing kind of a comical soap opera that they tell in these videos that they post roughly quarterly, telling the story of their bumbling satanic church. And it's entertaining. And even though the characters are evil, they're lovable, they're endearing, and the fans kind of grow to, they become kind of vested in the ups and downs of their story as they, like at one point, they killed off a bunch of the characters and everyone's kind of like, oh, we didn't like that. So it gets involving. It's very entertaining. It's escapist fun, even though some people, I'm sure, would be horrified that, oh, this is satanic, this is evil. It's all fun. I mean, I knew that from day one, from the very first album. It's all fun. It's just, it's not to be taken seriously. And, you know, it's entertaining. And I imagine it's how people felt in the 70s when Kiss was new. I was alive, but I was still kind of young to really appreciate it. For me, Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park, and the Mego figured that was Kiss, or a Lunchbox or something. I never heard their music until later. They were just kind of personalities. But for someone who was a teenager or 20-something in the 70s, I'm sure Kiss was a huge deal. And even for kids, kids were into that. And Ghost is basically the Kiss of this generation. And I've been to several Ghost concerts, and there's always tons of kids, and parents with their kids up on their shoulders. And Papa from the stage talks to the kids, singles them out, and asks them questions. And they've even been called kiddie. Their music has been called kiddie music or Scooby-Doo music, and that's fine. That's if it wasn't, I probably wouldn't like it. If it was more serious and more adult, I probably wouldn't like it. It's because it's campy and silly and kiddie that I like it. It's scary and creepy. Tobias calls it horror music, like a horror movie. Well, this is horror music. And the music itself is excellent, I think, as a fan. And the lyrics are very good. So it's not comical music. The music part of it is serious, but everything surrounding it is silly. And I like that. It's a dark fantasy, a dark horror fantasy, but comedic kind of horror. Not depressing horror. It's comedic horror. So I think that's it. I'm going to have to edit this thing because I rambled a lot in this episode. But hey, at least you got to see my cat. Billy's been sick. He's got asthma. He's been diagnosed with asthma. And so he's worrying me a lot. He's on steroids right now. I'm giving him oral steroids, and eventually he'll probably need I have asthma too. An inhaler, that's the word I'm trying to come up with, an inhaler. But I use an inhaler, so he'll probably need a kitty inhaler. So he's worrying me. His health is, he's got that problem. And he's still a very young cat, 1.5 years old, so I want him to have a long, healthy, happy life. And I hope I can give him that. So it was good that you got to see him. I like that. I think that's it. I know there'll be other YouTubers with video reviews of this toy, and I don't think any of them are going to have their cat talk about their cat's health and go into all this rambling nonsense. I'm sure the people who've never watched this channel before will be here, just come here for the first time to see something to do with ghosts, they're like, who is this guy? What's he talking about? Show the toy, for crying out loud. What's all this rambling nonsense? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to Basement of Horror. I hope you'll come back. Okay, so don't forget, I think this will upload before October 24th, so don't forget, Bleak Sunday, October 24th. We have special videos. Several different YouTube channels are coming together to make special Halloween themed videos for you. And they'll all go live on October 24th. So you can use the hashtag Bleak Sunday, or just come to this channel and there'll be a playlist with all the different videos from all the different channels on it. This is a group effort from many different YouTube channels coming together to give our viewers a special Halloween treat. And don't forget our big Halloween giveaway on October 29th. That's the deadline. Don't wait till then to enter. You can enter right now. Go to the video for the giveaway. You'll find it. It's on my channel, the 2021 Halloween giveaway. Go to that video and make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment on the video. Not this video, the giveaway video. And then you'll be entered in the contest and you can win cool stuff like NECA Quint, NECA Frankenstein, Mego 14-inch Dracula. I don't have it, but also a 80s Traveler's Dracula doll, and a 60s Monster Magic set, a box Monster Magic set, which is not within reach, but you'll see it in that video. Go to the Halloween giveaway video and you'll see everything you can win. It's a random drawing and the winner can choose one of these toys. So don't forget that. Bleak Sunday, October 24th. Halloween giveaway deadline is noon, October 29th to enter that. And then we'll draw the winner that night. Okay? So please subscribe to this channel if you have not done so. And click the bell icon, click the little bell, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching. Thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for watching my cat. Have a happy Halloween season. And goodbye.